Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna Makes It and I'm part of the creative crew for Cat Scrappiness. Today I'm here to introduce to you the Have Faith Shadow Sentiment Craft Die from Cat Scrappiness. Now this is a really neat die. I really enjoyed working with it. It is about 3¼ inches long, just to kind of give you an idea of how long it is. And I'm just going to pop it off here. And there's the shadow portion, and here is the actual Have Faith portion. And I'm just going to lay those down there, and I'm going to lay them aside actually, and I'm going to actually bring in my die cutting machine. And I'm just going to die cut these two pieces out just to kind of, if you've never seen die cutting or don't have a machine, I thought I would just show real quick. These will die cut really quickly, and I thought I would just take a moment and show you. So I've just got a piece of gray cardstock that I'm going to use for the shadow, and then I've got a cloudy sky colored cardstock that I'm going to use for the Have Faith. And I'll just get them laid down on my mat, and I'm going to bring in some mint tape and just tape those down and run them through my die cutting machine. And this will go pretty quickly. And I'm only going to make one pass with it. That's all that's necessary. And I'm just going to pull them out, and I'll get my die cutting machine out of the way, and we'll take a look at what we've got here. So I'm just going to pull my shadow off and just lay it aside. And I'm going to pull my die off and get the tape off of it. And then we'll bring in our Have Faith. And I'm going to lift real carefully because I'm trying to keep it all together. I'm doing this because I want to show you a couple things. So I'm going to pull it off, and you can see my little tittle fell out of there. So I'm going to grab my pick and stick tool and just pick it up and stick it back in there real quick, and then get my mat out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the die cut piece and then the reverse piece. So that's why I was real careful to pull it out and to make sure none of my little pieces fell out. So I'm just going to grab my tool here and just poke out the Have Faith portion. Just very carefully poking it all out. And you know, I just ran it through with one pass, and it die cut beautifully. So I'm laying the little piece to the A's. I'm just going to lay them aside there and keep them with that panel over there. And there I poked out the E. So I've got 3 little pieces there that I'm keeping track of. And then, of course, the tittle to my I in Faith. Now this is when you need your reverse rainbow tweezers, because you've got to have something to hold these little pieces as you're gluing them up. Now I'm just trying to get a little bit of glue on all areas and not make too much, because I don't want it to really make a mess on my shadow die. So I just tried to, and I'm going to zoom in so that you can see a little bit closer as I line it up. It really, you want to get it started right, but once you get it started right, it'll lay down fairly easy. And I'm just going to get it laid down. I'm trying to hold that gray piece so it doesn't move on me. And then get it laid down. And then we'll just set it down on there, and we've got it on our shadow. Now we're going to do the same thing with Faith. And like I said, you just be careful not to get too much glue on there so you don't make a mess. You can also, you know, put that double-sided tape on the back of it when you die cut it out, and that'll make it easier. So I'm just going to get the Faith laid down on here, and then I'm going to put a little small dot of glue on there, and then I'm going to grab my tittle and get it added to my Faith. And that's as simple as it gets. And there you've got a beautiful sentiment. I love it. I love the font. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. So now I'm going to work with this piece here, this remaining piece, and I'm just going to bring in just a piece of white to back it, just so you can see it real easily on the camera. And I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to go around all of the edges and glue it up. And I'm going to have to get all of these little pieces that kind of hang down in there and get some glue on those so that they'll attach. So I'm just going to try and get all of those and get them all glued up real carefully and not getting crazy or heavy with my glue. I'm just kind of filling in. Now I'm going to bring my piece of white and I'm just going to glue it on the back there. And look how beautiful that is. So that's why I kept those 3 pieces very carefully. So now I'm just going to get it laid down real nice. There's a couple of pieces that need a little bit more glue, and so I'm putting a little more glue underneath there and getting them laid down nicely. And I'm going to add some glue to my A, my E, and my other A. Looks like my V needed a little bit of glue too. And then I'm just going to grab my pickup tool and I'm going to lay those pieces in there. And this will provide me with a 2-for-1. So I'll get my gray and my blue, and then I'll have my blue and my white here. I'm just going to lay the piece down to the E. And I'm going to use the other end of it to try and adjust it to make it look good. And you can use your guide from the gray and the blue one. You can use that guide to figure out how to put them down. And then here we have it. Now I noticed that the eye, the little line in my eye is a little bit crooked, and you'll see I'm straightening it up there. But you can straighten it up pretty easy. And there we have 2 sentiments from 1 die cut. Okay, I want to just show you some projects that I made with this Have Faith die set. I used this paper from the Better Together paper pad, and I used this fancy stitch circle die set from Scrappiness. I used 2 of those, 2 sizes, and I just layered them. And then I also brought in some enamel dots from Scrappiness. I brought in the yellow and then the purple. And I will link all of the materials used in the description box below so that you can shop from there. So that was one of my cards that I made. And then I made a second one, and I think sometimes you just need a cup of coffee and to have faith. And so I brought in the Cafe Latte die set, and I used the Better Together paper on it as well. Now for this particular card, I used our Love is in the Air stencil, and I stenciled around that blue panel just to have some stencils there. I also brought in the fancy stitched rectangle die and die cut that out. So these are just a few examples of how you can use this Have Faith die. I think they turned out nice. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.